committee meeting at 7 p.m., May 17th, 2021. We do have an additional item to add to the 6 items, and we will add the additional item at number 6 regarding Memorial Day event. And push number 6 to number 7.
Okay.
Okay. So item number 1, we have a resolution accepting bids for 20-05 and 20-06 Southeast Brainerd and Madison Street. If you want to talk about that, Paul?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So we opened bids last Friday, May 7th, for our Southeast Brainerd improvement project. The streets like Madison Street, 15th, 16th, Quince, Portland, Chicago, St. Louis, down in that area. We received 3 bids, those being from D. Chantel Excavating, Anderson Brothers, and Douglas Kerr Underground. The bid amounts were, for the first 2 bids, were right around that $2.5 million mark, and then Douglas Kerr was the highest of the 3 at $3.1 million. We did have an engineer's estimate for the project listed at $3.3 million, so the bids represent a substantial amount under what we were estimating. The bids between the 2 lowest bidders were very tight, which indicates, well, one of 2 things. They were probably utilizing each other's bids to formulate their bids. So if Anderson Brothers would have won the bid, they most likely would have had D. Chantel, and D. Chantel has indicated that they have Anderson Brothers paving. So they are very close for that reason. It was about $800,000 under what we were estimating. We typically don't like to be the high bid, but in this circumstance, seeing that bids came in very favorably, we usually like to be somewhere in the middle with our engineer's estimate, but the market is very fluctuating right now. You can remember last year when we were 20% over on a majority of our projects. This year looking a little different. So what we have in front of you tonight is a resolution which adopts the bid results and awards the project to D. Chantel Excavating in the amount of $2,501,504.98, and so authorizing the signatures on the contracts with D. Chantel Excavating. Those improvements are included in the 5-year street and sewer capital plan, being that the estimated costs are substantially under what we were anticipating. We're anticipating that all of the fund that we were taking out of the sanitary sewer, the storm sewer, the water fund, and the construction fund are all going to be substantially lower than what we have listed in there. So that's all I have. Any questions?
Anybody got a motion?
I do. I move we accept we adopt the attached resolution accepting bid for improvements 205 and 2006 Madison Street Southeast Brainerd Construction Project and award the bid to D. Chantel Excavating for a total of $2,501,504.98 and authorize proper signatures on the contract documents.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Against, same sign. Motion passes. All right, item number 2. We have a request to accept bids on improvements 21-02 and 21-06 2021 crack sealing projects.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So this is another bid that came in pretty favorable in our favor. On a yearly basis, we budget for about $25,000 in crack sealing on our streets. We got some very good interest in this project generally. This year was no different. We had 6 bidders on the project, 2 of which that were substantially lower than the rest. We have worked with both of the 2 low bidders before in the last few years actually. They've received a majority of Crow Wing County's crack sealing work, and so we actually benefit greatly off of that because their mobilization cost goes to basically 0. Mm-hmm. They don't charge the city anything to mob into town. They do very quick, very good work. I think last year they finished all the crack sealing we had planned for them in about 3 days, so they work some pretty long hours, but they do a really good job. The lowest bidder was Lot Pros Inc. Their bid amount was $13,804. We do go and buy the crack sealing material for the contract through the state bidding contract, which ends up saving us money also. So we buy usually 11,250 pounds of material. This year, that total amount was $6,487.50, which leaves us at about total bid cost of $20,291.50. But tonight, we're only authorizing that we move forward with Lot Pros, Inc. in the contract amount of $13,804 and authorizing the signatures on the contract documents with them.
Perfect. Anybody have any comments, motion, anything?
A motion?
Go ahead, Ted.
Motion recommending the acceptance of the bids as presented and awarding improvements 21-02 and 21-06 to Lot Pros Incorporated in the total contract amount of $13,804.00 and authorizing proper signatures on the contract.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, go to a vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. Motion passes. Off to item number 3. This is a request to approve testing services contract with Braun Intertech for improvement 19-19 Northwest 3rd and Jackson Street reconstruction projects. Go ahead, Paul.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. So at the last city council meeting, we authorized moving forward with the Jackson Street and Northwest 3rd Street project with Anderson Brothers. Anderson Brothers is constructing Northwest 4th Street at the same time that they will be performing this work. We did end up going into a contract with Braun Intertech also for the testing services on 4th Street for the tune of about $30,000. As I was stating before, with a state aid project like 4th Street there's a lot more testing requirements that have to take place, and thus it's a lot higher cost. They're out there pretty much every day testing at a certain frequency for concrete and asphalt and gravel and compaction and all that stuff. This project, because it's a locally funded project and we're in such close proximity and using the same materials as 4th Street, we really scoped down the amount of testing we're doing on 3rd and Jackson just to verify that the materials are the same as what we're getting on 4th Street. And so we're only going to be doing a few concrete tests and a few gravel tests and some asphalt testing to make sure that the materials we're getting on 3rd and Jackson are the same as what we're getting on 4th Street. Being it's a locally funded project, we don't necessarily have to do any testing, but we've never not done testing before. We usually just try to do a minimal amount to verify that we're getting the right type of materials from the contractor. So this contract with Braun is a little over $5,000, $5,066, and staff is recommending the approval of that contract with them to perform the limited scope of testing.
Good. Makes sense to me.
I have a motion if there's no questions.
Go ahead, Dave.
I move to approve the attached proposal from Braun Intertech for testing services on improvement 1919 Northwest 3rd Street and Jackson Street reconstruction project in a total amount of $5,066.
Second?
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, we'll go to a vote. All in favor, aye.
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 Against, same sign. Motion passes. And we are off to item number 4, request to approve event application DANGIE, 5K War Against Cancer. I believe this is just a 5K through the park.
That's correct, Mr. Chair. They've done this before through Rotary Park and Kiwanis. It's an event that takes place. They set up a couple of booths and tables in Kiwanis Park. They have one of those blow-up arches to run through at the end. It's a pretty simple event. We do intend on bringing this to Park Board too, but since this was the first meeting, we're just bringing it forward to you guys and just getting that authorization of use from the Park Board. So really, there's no issues that we saw with this event app. It's about 50 to 100 people. They have some banners and some flags on the trail. We just asked that they remove those after the event as part of the conditions. That's really it.
The only thing I'm curious about, do they use the road along the river?
They do, yes.
Okay.
Yep,
But it's so few people that
Yep, and that's part of our designated trail system, so,
Okay.
yep. So it's the, where the dog park is, basically, that's part of the designated trail, so.
Okay.
On the way there, to the way back, they're going around Boom Lake, I believe, is what their route was.
Okay.
Make the motion, then a motion to recommend approval of the attached application under the conditions in the application, including to remove any banners and signs immediately following the event.
Second.
Motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion? Hearing none, go to a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. Motion passes. And item number 5, request to approve event parking and lot closure application for We Are fundraiser. And go ahead and tell us about this one, Paul.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So, this application was for a fundraiser to be held in the Laurel Street parking lot on August 18th from 5 to 7 p.m. I believe this application has come in front of us a couple years now in a row. It's a fundraiser, I think from the Mid-Minnesota Women's Center, if I remember right. The organizer is Advocates for Reproductive Education. But so they are requesting to close the Laurel lot for 2 hours. They're having some catering done by Sage on Laurel. They do have some power needs, but they're going to receive that from Sage. I believe the restrooms at Sage on Laurel will be utilized. There will be some amplification of sound for the event, just a microphone and a speaker. They plan on having a tent with some posters, food, and alcohol. Sage on Laurel does have a food and alcohol catering license, so we don't need any other special permits. There was really no comments or conditions that staff put on besides the coordination that has to take place with the closing of the lot with both the street department for traffic control and the police department to place that stuff up and make sure we get the cars out of there in time. And then that's really it as far as what our conditions were asking to be put on the application.
Okay. Was this a Friday, Saturday?
August 18th is a Saturday.
Saturday?
No, that's a Wednesday.
Oh, it's a Wednesday. Even better. Even better. Okay. I don't think I have any questions about it. Does anybody else?
No.
Okay. If anybody's got a motion, go ahead.
Move to approve the attached application under the conditions noted in the application on this request.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none. Go to a vote. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. Motion passes. And we will go to the additional item. We have a special event application on Memorial Day by the Brainerd Memorial Day Committee. And I think we all have the application in front of us, but if you want to talk about it, Paul, go ahead and tell us about this.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. So Jan Lambert submitted this on behalf of the Memorial Day Committee. They're having a Memorial Day event. They do this every year, I believe. They're requesting to close the street between Laurel Street between 5th and the Bridge to do some 21 gun salute and different armor guard type of things. And then they have some light amplification and power usage. It's a pretty simple street closure. Police department just said they would be assisting with the closure, and then we will be placing traffic control up for the event. So that's the only 2 conditions. Those we already have on the calendar, seeing as it's coming up very quickly. So we already put those on the calendar on behalf of that Memorial Day Committee, so they won't have to notify us again, so.
Great.
Those 2 conditions again, work with the police department, and what was the other one?
The other one is just, we usually ask them to request traffic control a week prior, so it's a reminder to us, but I already put it in our calendar, seeing as it's next week, so.
All right.
Ready with a motion?
Yeah, go ahead.
To approve the request for street closure for the Memorial Day service, May 31st, 10 a.m. to 11, from Laurel Street, from 5th to the Bridge. Those 2 conditions as noted in the application, to request traffic control in a week in advance and to work alongside the police department.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any more discussion? I only have one comment. I think it's a great event. I think it's super important, and I only wish it had even more going on to it. So maybe in the future we can make this a second 4th of July type event. What do you think about that, Dave?
I think it's a very important day, and we'll have to look into that.
Okay. I didn't say community action, but anyway, if there's no more discussion, move to a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. The motion passes. Now we'll go to our final item, the one everyone's been waiting for and everyone in town's been talking about forever. The results of the Name a Snowplow competition are in. We have closed the votes, and Mr. Sandy's gonna tell us the winners.
All right, so I should have grabbed the pictures again, but I think you all know what they all look like by now. I suppose I could pull it up still. I think I have it somewhere here.
I didn't come up with it.
I didn't float it in front of the kids. They were confused enough.
This is SurveyMonkey. It's high tech.
I think Chunky.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think the people demand graphs, so.
Pie charts.
I spent
This
all
is not a
day,
pie chart.
Pie.
This was
Pie
definitely a
charts are
bar
easy to-
I
graph.
spent all day putting this together.
Kelly, you're here just in time.
Perfect.
It's the most exciting part of the whole year.
This, you mean the sewer video?
Well, that's coming next.
Thought maybe I dozed off for a second there.
Richard, I think you had your mask on too long. Oh, the snowball, fine.
I forgot to take the plastic off of it. That was the problem. Yeah, pretty much.
Or the,
All right. So, with the first name, which is this lovely Mack truck with the wing, the winner was Kirby Truck It by a landslide. We had, I think it was a total of 266 votes on most of these. So,
Yeah, it was 265 for the.
Yep. with a majority, we have Kirby Truck It. With the next one,
Paul, is your feedback important to survey? Okay.
yeah, very important. Let me go back here. That is pictures. A little easier. The second one, we have the loader with the snowblower. And the winner, do we have any guesses?
nom nom nom.
Oh, close. Very close.
Spirit of Carl
It's a
Showalter.
regular old barn burner by 17 votes.
Wow.
I thank you, citizens of Brainerd, for making the correct
Oh,
choice.
yeah. Sick.
But the augers are all red, so it makes sense.
We live in a phenomenal city.
Yes, we do.
All right, the third one, which was the other Mack truck that looks very similar to the first one. They're going to have very different names. What's the
Oh, this
guess?
one's called the Spirit. Oh, wait.
What's the guess?
Oh man,
Assuming I've got them all memorized.
Fran Truckington.
Snokio Drift
Snokio Drift.
Kids.
with the winner on that one.
Yep. I did not expect that.
A very close, once again, very close.
How did Kirby
14.
Truckett win and Fran Truckington has the least votes? I could not have predicted this.
All right. Number 4, we have a Sterling dump truck with a wing. That one. Sir plows a lot.
All right.
Takes the top votes on that one.
Apologies to
These
you,
are great.
Paul, for the no salt and sandy.
drum roll.
Number the 6th one, we have the plow truck without a wing on it. This one surprised me.
Pretty good plow.
Cousin Eddie.
Yes.
Cousin Eddie. I like it.
Always
We
trust
can
the
never get rid of that
citizens.
one now either because of that.
No.
All right, the broom tractor. There's going to be some disappointed council members on this one. Really disappointed.
That's the tar tickler. Has
The
to be.
winner is Broom Goes the Dynamite.
Oh,
A very tight race.
we just ruined that
Mike,
machine.
you should have had 9 more votes. You would have tied.
I should have done more recruiting on that one.
What you should have done is you should have stacked the votes. You should have made the other 2 choices terrible. Then you wouldn't even had to worry about it.
I thought they were.
All right, we have the road grader. The results are in.
Slim Grady.
Slim Grady
Oh, I
That's a
knew it.
good one as well.
by a landslide.
Scrapey McScraperson would have been really good.
I
I'm surprised.
will also admit that Greater Minnesota I thought was probably the most clever of all the responses. But alas, it is not.
Last but not least, the loader with the big front plow. Frank the Tank. So those are the results.
Yep. Some I expected, some I did not. But all good.
We will say we had a very, very clean election.
Yeah.
Audit results showed there wasn't any collusion or conspiracy.
No votes showed up in the middle of the
No.
night.
Stop the steal, is that what
Stop
I'm
the
hearing now?
steal. Although,
Yeah.
I think there was a little bit of collusion when I told the mayor, the winner of one of them, that was coming through, and all of a sudden, a whole bunch
See,
of votes
that's when all
showed
the
up.
votes
I
showed up in the
cannot
middle of the night.
confirm nor deny my ability to drum up people's interest.
So the election was
Answers.
tampered with,
Yeah.
is that information?
Tampered.
All right. We have a motion to adjourn to the meeting.
Do you want to just ratify those results?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's why I have this.
Go ahead. Anybody got a
I don't
motion?
know.
I can take it. You want the glory on this?
Go
This is a
for it.
pretty
You put
big
your name
item.
on this.
It is big.
Motion to recommend approval of the results and authorizing staff to sticker the equipment appropriately.
Why is that a verb? To put a sticker on the, wish to amend this.
Sticker.
All right, that's
Come
not
on,
a word.
Dave.
I'll secondify it.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any more discussion on the snow plows and the stickers? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Against, same sign. Motion passes. Looking for a motion to adjourn to the regular council meeting.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
I was very disappointed